Imagine you're faced with a civil legal issue, perhaps an unfair eviction notice, access to essential government benefits, or something as life-altering as domestic violence. Now imagine you can't afford to hire an attorney to represent you. This scenario is an unfortunate reality for millions of Americans every day. But why? Shouldn't everyone, regardless of their ability to pay, have the right to legal representation?
In the United States Constitution, litigants in criminal matters are entitled to a lawyer. But that same representation or right does not exist for people in civil matters. And civil matters are when people sue each other. So for example, in a family law case where someone needs child custody, or in a domestic violence case where a victim needs a domestic violence protective order from the court, or a housing case when a landlord is evicting a tenant. So those folks that are involved in that litigation are not constitutionally entitled to a lawyer. Civil legal aid was established to have legal services lawyers all across America. And so that means that folks who are experiencing a hardship like a lack of housing or they need support in a domestic violence case can come to us and we can represent them in their cases. 50% of families in America cannot afford a $400 unexpected expense. And the average billable rate for a lawyer in the United States is $300 an hour. So that means people cannot afford lawyers.
In North Carolina, there's been a pivotal response to this need. Legal Aid of North Carolina has long been a free legal lifeline for every resident who needs it. Recently, the nonprofit law firm added a valuable resource to its collection of services. It's an asset that meets people where they are, literally.
The Mobile Intake Unit, or LANCMobile, is part of our bigger Modernize and Access initiative. We are really looking at ways in which people connect to us, how we can deliver services more effectively, what are some of the challenges and obstacles that people are facing when they connect to us, and then what are some of the solutions. We serve people who are lower wealth, in rural communities, often marginalized communities. And so there are lots of obstacles and challenges, a lot of infrastructure barriers, such as lack of telecom, lack of broadband, all the things that would prevent somebody from being able to just readily access legal services. The Mobile Intake Unit is our way of getting services to people who have difficulties or challenges accessing our services.
So those who have been hit hard by natural disasters like hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, and other storms can access the help that they need. So being able to bring the help to them will greatly increase the number of people we're able to assist. We could help with anything from giving advice about legal rights after a natural disaster, advocating for clients who are trying to access disaster recovery assistance, standing up for survivors who have been victimized by fraudulent contractors, and so much more. Having the Mobile Intake Unit will be a game changer for the number of people we are able to assist who have lost so much in the wake of a natural disaster.
Not everyone can afford to hire an attorney, but that should never stand in the way of receiving counsel. Pro bono legal professionals level the playing field by providing guidance, representation, and advocacy to ensure justice for all.
So legal services have been around in North Carolina since the late 1960s, early 1970s. There are offices all over the state, and they were consolidated into one legal services organization in 2002. Today, we have offices in 23 counties. North Carolina has 100 counties. We have over 430 staff and 230 lawyers, and we're actually the third largest law firm in North Carolina in terms of number of lawyers.
So the Innovation Lab is our way of being more intentional and strategic in creative problem solving. We have lots of people who are seeking our help. We have limited resources, so we have to think outside the box. How can we best meet the demand? How can we deliver services? How can we improve our processes so that our staff can deliver more effective services? The Innovation Lab operates as a way for us to identify and implement creative solutions, tech and non-tech solutions that really allow us to meet the needs of our clients and deliver effective services in our communities across the state.
Legal Aid of North Carolina's dedicated team of attorneys and volunteers work to empower individuals facing civil legal challenges, including issues related to housing, domestic violence, consumer rights, public benefits, and more.
Our mission at Legal Aid of North Carolina is to provide lawyers and legal advice to low-income people who need them. Right now, we're really focused on Legal Aid 2.0, which is what is the future of legal services? How do we serve multiples of the number of people that we are able to serve now with the resources that we have? How do we innovate legal services, and how do we reach those areas that we can't currently reach?
To learn more, donate, or get involved, visit legalaidnc.org.